Welcome to the Basement Talks. My name is Scott. That's Barry. Today we have a guest with us who is knowledgeable on many things Indiana, namely basketball and Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance.
Stop knocking on wood.
Kyle Cornelius, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. Thanks for the invite and looking forward to being here tonight.
Now we have you on to talk Hatchet Regional basketball, Lady Hatchet Regional basketball.
I tell you, it's going to be an exciting weekend, I think. Looking forward to this weekend and Lady Hatchets, and we'll see what happens.
Now you're on because you do the broadcast for the radio for the Lady Hatchets. Is that right?
That is correct.
What? Tell the folks what station.
That's Memories 107.9 WANW.
Yes, and you're with Dwayne Shake there usually.
Shake Broadcasting.
Yeah.
Yes. I do all the boys' games. I don't do any of the girls, but do all the boys.
Yeah. So that's how they can listen Saturday if they're not going to the game.
Yes, you can definitely tune in on the net, 107.9 Memories. That'll be broadcasted there. And if you're not able to make it to the game, check them out.
Game will be at Charlestown, Indiana. Have you ever been to that gym?
I have been to that gym.
What's it like?
It's very nice. It's a nice facility. It's no Hatchet House.
None of them are.
Yeah, that's a rough standard to live up to.
If the fans went to Jasper last weekend, it's very similar to Jasper, maybe a little bit bigger, but kind of the same type of atmosphere.
Now, my personal opinion on that Jasper gym, it was nice, but there's no personality there.
Yeah, it's kind of bland.
Yeah.
Kind of bland, but you'll have that.
It's the Vanderbilt of Southern Indiana, you know. And I also laughed at, I was like, my dad's like, we're going to Charleston. He's like, no, it's Charlestown. I'm like, Charlestown. That's what
Is there?
like.
So is there a? I guess there's a W.
Oh, yes.
That would be the difference between ton and town.
Yes, Charlestown.
Okay.
Washington or Washington? What is it?
Depends where you're at.
No R. No R. So what do you know about the Greensburg team? I mean, what do we know about them?
Well, we know that they are ranked number 1 in the state, and we know that they have not been defeated yet this year. They're 24-0, which only tells me they're ripe for the picking.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to have an undefeated season, and it's even harder once you get in tournament to keep it going. So I look forward to our girls giving them a great game.
Now, unfortunately, or maybe fortunately, we don't play them during the regular season. But we did have an opponent in common this year, and that's the Princeton Tigers, who we just beat for the sectional championship. Now, I looked it up on Max Preps there, and I think the margins of victory were very close to the same margins of victory that we had against the Princeton Tigers. Is that?
I want to say it was around 10 or 12 points.
Okay.
Was the victory there, and that's pretty much what it was during the season for us at Princeton, and also during the tournament.
So it's a winnable game. I mean, it's a game that we can play in.
No doubt about it. You know, they're ranked number 1. I think we're ranked 2 or 3. What more could you want? You know, you'd always hope to try to play one of those teams later in the tournament.
Right.
But you got to play them sometime.
Sure.
So why not play them out of the gate here? It's a chance. Regional is a 1-game win and take on, move on. So
yes.
It's not like semi-state where you play a really tough game and then you got to face a Greensburg team that night. So I like our chances.
Okay. I talked to Coach Harmon, Dave Harmon, one of the assistant coaches for the Lady Hatchets. He said when they did play Princeton, they had just played another game earlier that day, so that was their second game for the day. But he was still excited about the prospects and excited that the margins of victory were very similar, and they are staunchly saying that this is a game that they can play in and that they can win.
No doubt about it. I think we always talk about the other team and what do we got to do to stop them, and I'm like, what are they going to do to stop us?
Exactly.
We're firing on all cylinders. We've got a great team playing well, and with our coaches too. Mm-hmm. I'll put them up against anybody else in the States.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about this myself. I've watched a lot of Lady Hatchet basketball over the years, and especially this year. It's extremely hard to prepare for a team in which every girl on the floor can score the basketball. I mean, there There is not. I mean, even our sixth man, you got
London.
Scott. You got Scott's niece coming off the bench. London, she's coming off the bench,
Right.
and she's getting double doubles in games.
Right, and she starts on most teams in the state.
Yes,
She's
mean,
already been
without
offered
question.
from Evansville.
yeah.
She already has a scholarship offer from Evansville.
So
I mean, at sophomore, she's
so
love you, London.
so you're, like try to strategize for this team. You play a man to man. Well, I'll say woman to woman. Every girl on the court can score the ball. It's not like you can take your best defender and put it on their best offensive player. That doesn't work here
No.
because they can all score the ball. I
Right.
mean,
And our girls can score in all three phases: around the basket, mid range, and the
Yes.
3-point shot. So when you have girls that can, or boys for that matter, that can score at all three levels,
mhm.
you're tough to play against. And I think really, from what I hear, I've never seen Greensburg, but they match up well against us because they have the same type of players. So, like I said, I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be very close. Anytime you come in the tournament, it's going to be one of those games that a few plays here and there are going to matter.
Sure. And turnovers and making free throws and things like that are important as well.
Yeah, no doubt.
On Greensburg, we're talking they have a sophomore that most of the offense runs through, or is that correct?
Yep, that's what I gather. She's a mid-range post. She's 5'10", sophomore, very good player. Larison, I believe is her last name. Scores about 16 points a game. And they have 3 or 4 kids that are double-figure scores, but Larison is very good. Probably their best overall player, which says something because they also have a Division I player in the post, West. She's a senior, averaging 15 points a game, and she's going to Belmont University, so that's down around Nashville.
Okay.
But
All right.
so yeah,
Well, let's talk about the Lady Hatchets. First, let's start with the person that runs the offense, the point guard position, Aubrey Frank. What do you think, Aubrey?
very solid, quick, athletic. One of the most athletic girls I've seen as far as lateral quickness. Can shoot the basketball off the dribble, off the catch and shoot. Sees the floor well, finds her teammates, gets everybody involved. So just an all-around great player.
She seems scrappy too, like always going after loose
she-
balls and does not shy away from any
Now,
defender.
when I say they're nasty, that's not a bad thing,
Sure.
right?
For sure.
Sure.
But when you
For
step
sure.
on that court across the black lines, you got to be a little nasty. And she's got that little spitfire in her that, she's not going to back down from anyone. She's going to accept the challenge.
Well,
And go ahead, Scott.
well, Ava Montgomery, who they played the first round against the Raiders, is a very good basketball player. She's already committed to Kentucky Wesleyan. She pretty much is their offense on that team. And
Who are you talking about? They play. Who'd you play for?
Southridge.
Southridge. Okay.
Southridge Raiders. And Aubrey had the task of playing on her. And yeah, I think Ava I think she got 18, 20 points or something, but Aubrey hung like 16 on her.
Yeah.
So she can score as well as being scrappy and running the offense. She can also put them up.
I guarantee you, when she went to bed at night, she was still seeing Aubrey Frank.
Yeah.
And she knew she was in a she game. You know what I
Yes.
mean? She
Oh,
knew
yeah.
that she was in a contest. I heard too that she likes to talk the smack. Have you heard that or not?
She's got a little game to her.
I love that. Though. You got to love that.
I love it. I love it. Let's go to the next guard position, 2 guard, maybe shooting guard position, and that's Shay Hawk. What do you think of Shay?
Another girl that's athletic, just does a lot of things that you go, wow, did she just do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shoots the ball well, finishes around the basket well, rebounds.
Yes, that's what I've noticed. The rebounds.
And she's another nasty one on defense that you can put her on someone and she's like gum. She's going to stick to you.
Yes.
You're not going to lose her easily. So Shay's had a great season, as well as many of these girls. But
when you see a loose ball, there is no hesitation on her part.
As our team goes, Shay goes, or as Shay goes, the team goes, is what I meant to say. And I just think the better she plays, the better we are.
Yeah, I agree. She's again, I think she's scrappy as well.
Senior, correct?
She's a junior this year.
Junior. But Aubrey's
So,
senior. Aubrey's
Yeah.
senior.
So Shay gets knocked down and then she knocks down. You know what I'm saying? It's like a Rock'em Sock'em Robots, man.
My daughter says all the time, she goes, Shay is on the floor all the time.
Yes.
I'm like, there's times where she just bounces off the referee, and the referee's like, what?
Yeah. Excellent basketball player. And I think, I could be wrong, I think that at least over 50% of our games she's been the leading scorer. If I'm accurate in that, I could be wrong.
She's definitely left her mark.
Yes.
Every game.
Yeah.
Every game she's played in.
Okay.
Sure.
How about the middle? Katie Reed.
Katie. What can you not say about Katie? She's another one that's got a lot of Division I looks and offers on the table. She's had a great year. Shoots the 3-ball well.
Yes.
Just blocks a lot of shots. I mean,
yeah.
It makes it tough. She's long, athletic.
So here's what I think about Katie. I think she is as important on the defensive end as she is on the offensive end. I think on the defensive end, now you'll notice in the let's just go back to the Princeton game. In the first half of the Princeton game, they did not want to drive the lane, and if they did drive the lane, they were kicking the ball out. Right. And I think that's because of Katie's presence down there. So she's as important on the defensive end as she is on the offensive end. Now, when you go to the offensive end of the floor, she is what allows Shay and Aubrey and Kenna and Olivia and all these people. She is what allows them to shoot the 3-ball and from 17 feet and out, because she allows that inside out basketball game. They throw her the ball down there, the defense collapses, she kicks it back out, and it's a 3-ball. So she is as important as a pivot point basically on the offense as she is a scorer. Now, she can step out and shoot the ball as well as anybody on the team and score the ball as well as anybody on the team. But when she flashes and they pass her the ball and the defense collapses on her and she kicks it out, that's as important as anything. And she allows that inside out basketball play.
And just even her movement, even if she doesn't catch the basketball, when she's going towards the basketball, the defense knows that, and they're collapsing on her. So you're right, Barry. As much as she does on the defensive end, and we're going to need her to be that big cog in the middle Saturday. But offensively, just the little things that even if she doesn't score, she creates opportunities for her teammates, and her teammates are able to take advantage of that because of the type of players that they are too.
Yes. I think she is very, very, very important to the offense.
And I like how she has the green light to shoot, and she doesn't shy away from it.
Nope.
No hesitation. And
I talked to Coach Miles about this. I noticed in the Gibson Southern game, they had a sophomore that's like 6'3" or 6'4", big girl, sophomore. She thought that she was going to come in and body Katie Reed. She thought she was going to bump her around and shove her out of the way and just have basically free roam down there in the paint. And Katie handled her business. I mean, she was a dog. And Coach Miles said Katie is a dog. That's how she described her.
Yeah, no, you're right, and that's one thing that I'm anxious to see on Saturday is Greensburg. They're up around I-70. A lot of times those teams are a little bit different type of play. They're a little more finesse. As to where down here, Southern Indiana, I mean,
it's country ball.
We got the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, it's a rough ball.
We like the contact, Yeah. So it's one thing that come tournament play, a lot of times their officials kind of let girls play a little bit more, and so I think that
which benefits us. You thought, yeah,
we can use that to our advantage.
Yes.
I really do.
Okay, how about Kenna Garland?
Kenna, same thing. Gets out on the break. Long, athletic, just tough as far as her length, and then she shoots the ball so well.
She does.
She loves that corner.
Yes, I noticed that.
The sprint game, they were looking to push the basketball. She's right there in the corner. So if you look ahead, London and Frank, they push the ball up, get into the lane, and they kick it out to her, and she's ready to knock it down, and she usually does.
Yes,
it's huge.
Now you're not allowed to say anything because you were a great shooter. But Barry, when you played ball, could you hit from the corner? I never could.
I played ball.
He's really sounding like he could.
I played ball. I don't remember that. I mean,
we went to the practice.
Here's what I'll tell you. Here's what I'll tell you about my high school basketball career. Just to interrupt this segment real quick.
Yeah.
It's gonna be quick.
Yes.
This shouldn't take long.
Yeah.
Hey.
I played basketball. I moved here in 7th grade. I played basketball in junior high. I played basketball until my sophomore year.
Yeah.
My class, our class, and the classes around us, it was such a talented group of basketball players that my sophomore year, at the end of the year, I went to, it was Dave Omer and Alan Bubalo at the time were the two coaches that that were running things basically. And I went to him and I was like, man, I really don't know if I want to play next year. I said, I was much better at football. I was like, I really just want to kind of focus on football. And they're like, yeah, it's probably a good idea. That's exactly what they said to me. Alan said, yeah, it's probably a good idea. So I knew from then on there was no chance that I was playing basketball, and I was not upset about that. I am a supporter of the um, Hatchet sport program, and I knew that if I could not contribute and those guys were doing so well,
Oh.
I was gonna cheer them on, and
Absolutely.
from the sidelines, from the
You had a
student
great time
section.
doing that, right?
Yeah, from the student section. Yeah, so and I had a great time doing that. Now, I was much better at football and should have focused on it much more than basketball. I just couldn't hang.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll say about my basketball career.
My first Hatchet basketball memory is watching you and Jake play.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would have been, let's see, how far behind were you?
I'm
We
5 years
graduated
younger
in
than my
03.
brother.
So you graduated. Okay, so you
We
were
graduated
young,
03.
you're a young guy.
I met that was my first time watching a game in
What
the
year
Hatchet
what
house.
year did you graduate?
The black and white days. 95. We're
Okay.
coming on our 30 years this year. So yeah, 30 years ago.
Okay, let's move on. How about the Gilly sisters?
In Gilly we trust.
Yeah, the
Did you
Gilly
see that?
sisters. So
You want to start?
Well, I'll say I'll quote Byron. The other night we were watching the game against Princeton, and you were talking about, they key on Reed and all that. Well, for some reason they were keying on her 2 people, and they left Olivia alone.
yes,
She took advantage.
Yeah, Byron said, he tapped me on the shoulder. He goes, "They're ignoring Olivia." He went, "That's a mistake." They picked the wrong one that night. Liv was lighting it up, and so proud of her. She's going to be playing at VU next year, and I like the way she shoots the ball a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, she's always had a beautiful shot, and a lot prettier than anything I could ever throw at
Well,
her.
and
So.
she's one of our girls too that around the basket she can finish with either hand.
Mm-hmm.
That was one thing about Trace Jackson Davis that just drove me crazy at IU. He's left-handed. I mean, you might as well just cut his right hand off. He's not using it.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, he could be so much better. But Liv, it doesn't matter. Right, left, around the basket, she's going to finish.
Mhm.
Shoots the basketball well, and you can say this about those 2 girls that we're talking about now, and the rest of the whole team. They're so unselfish.
Mhm.
There's times where I think they've got a shot, and
Yeah.
maybe they don't take it because they're looking for a better shot. So when you have that type of chemistry on your team and players that know their role, but also understand, hey, they're doubling down, they're leaving me open, I'm going to knock it down. And
Yeah.
she did, and it was great.
and
Yes.
that unselfish basketball. We talked earlier about man-to-man defense and why that's a bad idea against the Hatchets, the Lady Hatchets. Well, if you play zone against them, that's a bad idea too because they're so unselfish. So they are going to be slow to rotate at some point, and they're going to leave somebody open, and those girls are going to pass the ball around until they find the open person, and then they're going to score the basketball. So
Especially
you can,
with the way they whip that ball around
Yeah.
too. The passing is amazing. Like they rocket it towards each other.
So if
I
you can-
love it.
yeah. So
It's great to see.
if you can't play man and you can't play zone against them, what do you play?
I hope. I hope this works.
Yeah.
I hope we can stop them.
Now, London Gilly, like I said, she's coming off the bench, and when your 6th woman has the ability to come off of the bench and have a double-double in a game, you've really got a team.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Everybody's concerned about who starts, and everybody wants to start, but
Mhm.
sometimes your bench is just as valuable as the ones that are starting.
Absolutely.
It's just everybody has to play their role, and everybody on this team knows their role, and that's what's
Mhm.
just beautiful about it is they don't miss a beat. They just keep on firing. Doesn't matter. Any of them can be the leading scorer on any night.
That's exactly right.
So it's just whatever the defense is going to give you, that's what
Mhm.
we're going to take advantage of and execute. And everybody's happy at the end because usually that leads to a win.
For sure.
I tell people, a lot of people get caught up in accolades and, I was an all conference player, this and that. But if your team just wins, those things come to you
Sure,
automatically.
absolutely.
So as long as you're winning,
Yep.
you're going to get recognized, whether you're the sixth player on the, coming off the bench, the seventh player.
Yes.
You are still contributing, and your team is winning, and you're a big part of that.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, I agree 100%. What about Coach Miles as a coach? I think that she is the gold standard of high school athletic coaches in this state. I truly adore her method of coaching, her fire, her passion, her relationship with the girls. I know from firsthand experience that she does so much more for those girls than just coach basketball. How do you feel about Gretchen?
100%. I've known Gretchen all my life. We grew up together. Parents were close. Um, my boss has asked me numerous times, when we're looking to hire someone, who would you hire? And I go, Gretchen Miles. And he's like, why? Why do you say her? And I said, if you ask me who's painting the white lines out in the parking lot, I'm hiring Gretchen Miles, because whatever she's going to do, she's going to do it to the best of her ability, and she's good.
Yes.
And it's more about the relationships that I think she creates with the kids that gets the best out of them on the athletic floor too. So I think she's one of the best too. I think she's done great for our program from top to bottom. She's involved, and I think she's one of the best too.
She has some great assistant coaches as well. Dave Harmon being one of them. I spoke to Dave yesterday. Like I said, he's excited about this game. Truly believes that that we can come out victorious on top here. Now, you said that they were undefeated, 24-0, I believe. Now we're 23-2. The only loss this year coming to a Knox County team, North Knox, South Knox, South Knox, and that was both losses.
Yeah, I would love to see Greensburg play them. That way, that'd be the true litmus test to know what we were going against. Because
like we said earlier, the only opponent we had in common was Princeton, and the margins of victory were very similar. So
look at this little area that we have down here.
Yeah,
how competitive it is, and
yeah.
Princeton, something I noticed about them the other night, not a single senior was on that floor. They're going to be real tough next year too.
Yeah.
So it's just, I feel like we have some of the best basketball down here in this little corner of the state. I really believe that.
Well, Indiana's long been known as a basketball state. Only this year did anybody start considering Indiana as a football state, and that was because IU had a good season playing football. But other than that, I don't think we were. Well, Notre Dame, I would say Notre Dame football. But yeah, we're a basketball state. That's what we do, and especially the city of Washington is a basketball city.
Yeah,
I mean, we have 7 state titles in 3A boys. So I mean, we're definitely a basketball focused town, and that's great to me. I love it. I love going to the games. I love watching the games, both boys and girls. And I'll tell you this, to me, the girls team is just as exciting, maybe more exciting than the boys team to watch. They are a fiery group of girls. They play basketball very, very well together.
Yeah. And they do it the right way.
Yes.
Right.
Can't say enough, but you're right. We are lucky to have grown up in the area that we grew up in. Sometimes I think when you're younger, you take that for granted. The Hatchet House and the 7 state championships and the girls program that was dominant in the 90s too. We're very fortunate. But as you get older, my age, 30 years out, you start to reflect back. Go, man, this is a special place.
Yes, 100%. 100%. And like Scott was saying, even the area, we were talking at one point in time, not very long ago in history, either us, Bar Eve, or North Davies was going to the state game. I mean, and we're all within 10 miles of each other.
Yeah, you can always say, if you can just make it out of sectional, and our sectional on the boys' side is this way this year. If you can just make it out of the sectional, you got a very good chance of making a very deep run.
Yes.
Because of just how well and how good the basketball is here.
I've always kind of been of this opinion. I'm not trying to take anything away from boys basketball or anything, but to me, it seems like watching girls high school basketball, in my opinion, that is the most pure form of the game. The team play, how everybody works together. And I've always felt that way. Even like the women's college balls, it's pretty high up there as well. But
it's becoming more fun for me to watch, especially at the college level, because now it's just all about how athletic they are. They're not fundamentally as sound as what I think they should be or what men used to be.
Right.
And now the women's program is just they've gotten more athletic, but they're also so fundamentally sound that it's a joy to watch because it's like this is what basketball's supposed to look like.
Absolutely.
I agree 100%.
While we're on that topic, who you want for the IU's coach? Dusty May? No.
I'm tired of even thinking about it. It just makes me sick. So I don't know. I don't know who that person is.
Yeah.
Cade Cornelius.
There you go. Somebody.
Katie, get him there.
I just want someone to go in there and just. Is it ever going to be like it used to be? That's what I want.
Yeah, and that people talk about NIL killing things. Well, it hasn't killed other programs. So
no, and my biggest thing is, and IU fans make me sick because they're always worried about the 5 stars. Give me 3 stars that got that dog in them. That have something to prove. Look at what Signetti did. I mean, a lot of those kids were JMU guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
they proved that they could play at that level, and that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to come in and prove I'm just as good as everybody else that no one gave me the shot, and now I got my shot. So that's the type of kids I want on my team, is somebody that's got a little chip, because that's what I had.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 5'7",
Yeah,
I didn't stand a chance against
Scrappy.
a Barry Hudson. I had to,
oh my god, oh my god!
I had to dig down deep and just I got to myself. Right?
Well, I don't know about that.
Right?
I don't know about that. You're way off.
How important do you think it is that the IU recruit Indiana? Like, is that?
I feel like it's important just because I know the type of coaches we have here, and I know the type of basketball that's played here.
Don't you feel like you should own your own state as far as recruiting goes? I've always felt that way, because then the people will invest more in that too. It's our team kind of thing.
Well, you look at even Matt Painter and Purdue. Look at the success that they've had.
Yeah,
they've got a lot of those guys. I mean, Braden Smith is maybe arguably one of the top players in the nation right now, and IU didn't give him a look. And he's right in their backyard.
Wow.
So it's just you got to recruit those kids because they can play.
Better than those ISU turncoats who left the minute they had take your back knee and get on down the road.
Hey, they were fun to watch.
Yeah.
Hey, NIL money now. It's tough. It's hard.
All right. I think I have an idea of the answer. Saturday night prediction.
You want to score, or you just want a win?
As far out on a limb as you're willing to go. We don't want to jinx anybody.
Well, both teams are averaging, I say this, Greensburg averages about mid-60s. Washington's just below 60, I think, points a game. So I look for the game to be less than that because it's going to be a defensive battle.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Washington 55, Greensburg 51.
They haven't played the Hatchets yet.
That's right.
That's daggum right.
And so you bring up a good point. I think it's going to be a defensive game, and I think that we have to be on our defensive A game in order to beat a team like this. I mean, we're talking number 1 team in the state that haven't been beaten. They got a chip on their shoulder as well. So I think defense is going to be super important. The baskets will come, like they have all season, and I don't think. Correct me if I'm wrong here. If you're Gretchen Miles, I don't think you change a whole lot for this game. I mean, you play the way that you have gotten to this point and the way that your girls have played all season, which is tremendous basketball and good, solid defense.
Yeah, 100%. Greensburg has not had a lot of close games either. A lot of their games they haven't been battle tested. Been a few, but not many. Washington's had, then again, I think about it, they haven't had a ton either. But what I'm trying to get at is I feel like Washington's been in some of those closer battles lately. That's going to benefit them in a close ball game. So I just look for Washington to come out and play well, do all the little things it takes. Anytime you have these games, it's, whoever can withstand the highs and the lows the best, because there's going to be times where things are going great.
Absolutely.
You're going to go on an 8 or 9 point run, and then the other team's going to fire back, and they're going to do it.
Yes.
8 or 9 point run.
Ebbs and flows.
Who can control their emotions and just withstand the full 32 minutes is going to be the one that comes out ahead. And I just think Washington has the mentality, the toughness about them. Sometimes it's not so much about their ability at this point. It's the mental toughness that they've got to have. And I think Coach Miles has done a good job building that toughness within the group. And I look for them to be successful.
And that game will take place on Saturday at 7:00 at night, correct?
I believe so. 7
Yeah,
o'clock
7.
tip. The game before that is actually the South Knox Spartans that defeated us both times. They're in the same region, so they play. I don't know who they play, but they're pretty favored to win that game too. So
all right,
yeah, I didn't know it was them.
All right, I told you the only reason that you came on this show is because I promised you a little couple minute commercial spot.
I'm terrible at those. You know how many takes I got to.
We talked. Listen, we talked a bit about your side hustle with broadcasting basketball games, the boys' games, in this case. But what do you do? What do you do during the day?
I manage people's everyday risk.
He sure does, mine included.
I try to do that to the best of my ability. So, home, auto, life, business insurance is our main things that I take care of. So. Just try to be there in the time of need. I enjoy it. Been there going on. This will be year 13 coming up, I think, or 12. So,
do you have a favorite State Farm commercial?
It's not State Farm, but anytime I have somebody that says, "Hey, I've been wanting to get with State Farm," I just go with it until they're ready to write the check, and I'm like, "It's Farm Bureau, not State Farm."
Okay, well,
but you're just asking if I like.
I'll edit that out, but yeah, since I sound like a dumbass.
Nope.
Okay, so it's Indiana Farm Bureau.
Yes, Indiana Farm Bureau.
Okay, you do everything: home, life, health, all that good stuff.
All that good.
Yeah,
all good stuff.
All the stuff that everybody hates, me included.
Oh, come on. Ugh.
Okay, and what's your address if somebody wants to come in and visit you?
Right.
So we are. Good question. 443 South State Road 57 South. So we're right next door to First Federal Bank.
Mm-hmm.
Also across from Bob's Restaurant. Most people around this area probably know where that is. So that's where we're located. And
do you have social medias? Do you have Facebook? Do you have how can people get a hold of you?
I'm trying to get a little bit better on the other stuff. Pretty much Facebook. A little bit of Twitter, not much, or X or whatever it's called now. Mm-hmm. I'm not a TikToker.
Okay.
But I know that's where it's at now. Right?
So what do they look up on Facebook to find you specifically?
Just my name, really.
Okay.
Kyle Cornelius. I do have a Farm Bureau page that I'm supposed to have, so I have it, but it's more just my personal page. So.
Now, if somebody brings in all of their information and you can get them a free estimate on your insurance, is that?
Yep. It's no cost to you, so just come give us a try. We'll do the best we can. It's kind of like I used to tell people, it's like me asking for a prom date. I'm either going to be good enough or I'm not. I don't have multiple companies to try you with. You know, it's just, it is what it is. This is what I've got. If it's,
you could possibly save them some money.
I'm going to possibly save you. And if I can, great. If not, that's okay too.
I'll tell you this. I'm not going to mention any names, any companies, but I came to you several years ago and I got almost double the coverage for about a little more than half the price. Yeah. So if that tells anybody anything.
He's been my agent for the last 10, 15 years probably.
And you didn't even know what company you were with. So
yeah.
His wife takes care of the
Yeah, she has it all written down. The minute I kick it, she is cashing in.
Yeah. And she made sure that covers heart attacks, did she, the life insurance?
Right. You got me again. He's the fastest.
Anything else, Scott? What do you think?
I don't have really anything except look up Kyle at Farm Bureau Insurance, and tickets for that game will be. You can either buy them at the door, or I will put the link in the description of this vehicle. Link in the description of this video. Sorry, I'm on 2 hours sleep, guys. Sorry. Link will be in the description, or you can buy at the door. It is Saturday night at 7:00 at Charlestown, Indiana. Our Lady Hatchets taking on Greensburg. I don't know what
Pirates, I think, or something like that. Pirates, yeah.
They are the Pirates, and wish them the best.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Good
luck, Lady Hatchets.
Yep. Liv, London.
Yeah, we'll be rooting for you. I'll be there.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Please remember to like and subscribe. And Kyle, thank you very much for coming on, bud.
No, I really appreciate you guys, not only as clients but friends, and then also asking me to come on tonight. I really enjoyed it. So thank you.
Hey, comment on the video. We read your comments. They're important to us. That's my favorite thing to do is read the comments. So like, subscribe, and comment. Good luck, Lady Hatchets.